2017. What can be said about 2017? Well, 2017 is what many people, including myself, consider to be one of the greatest times for YouTube and just gaming in general, and the internet. And for very good reason, honestly. Like, as I said, I completely agree. Like, 2017 was back when YouTube felt more personal. Back before, the real I don't know how to say it, corporatization of YouTube came into play. Back before Mr. Beast really had his big rise to fame. Back when YouTubers like PewDiePie were the top guys on the platform. Back when, before really AAA slop became the real norm. When we were consistently getting really good games. Not saying that we don't get really good games nowadays, but feels like more than not, we're getting bad games. So, back when quality was really common, like games like Cuphead and Horizon Zero Dawn had released. But there is one game to me that, despite being very well received, still feels underrated to me. And that game is Doki Doki Literature Club. I recently played this game for the first time this year, and it has quickly become one of my favorite horror games that I've ever played. Because something I haven't expressed too much on the channel is that I'm a huge fan of horror. I like horror games, I like analog horror, I like horror web series, I like a lot of horror content, and this Doki Doki Literature Club, or DDLC, is truly, a masterpiece when it comes to this, and there are quite a few videos explaining just why it is, and they're all very good. You should totally go check them out, they're all very good videos, but even now, I feel like it just doesn't get talked about enough, and I get it, it's an old game, I mean, it released 8 years ago, but I feel like we should still be talking about it, because it's just such a good game. And I plan on changing that. We're gonna bring Doki Doki Literature Club the justice it deserves with this video. So I will be explaining that why Doki Doki Literature Club is a genuine horror masterpiece. So if you end up enjoying the video, maybe consider liking and subscribing. I don't upload super often, but I make pretty good stuff. Alright, enough stalling with this long ass intro. Let's get into it. The main qualities that make this game so good, and what made me personally fall in love with it, was the way the game presents itself and the way it lures you into a false sense of security. First, let's discuss the way DDLC presents itself. DDLC makes itself appear as a romantic visual novel, and it excels in this factor, because the game is not only a horror game, but a genuinely well-written visual novel. So the game starts off with you walking to school with your childhood friend Sayori. Fast forward to after school ends, Sayori convinces your character to join the literature club, where you're introduced to 3 other girls, that being Yuri, Natsuki, and Monika. After your character gets introduced to these girls, Monika assigns you and the others to do a daily poem that you bring to show the next day, before your character goes home, ending the game's first day. So far, this is pretty standard romantical visual novel stuff, and it stays like this for the entire game pretty much, with your character getting to know the girls and gradually getting closer to them. However, there are a few hints to the game's true nature, mostly coming from this fucker, and trust me, I'll get to it. But the game is actually doing something the entire time. It's making you feel safe. It's making you feel like you're just playing a standard visual novel, naturally coaxing you to let your guard down. Because here's the thing, DDLC is both a horror game and a visual novel, and part of the reason why this game is so effective in making you let your guard down is because it's a genuinely well-written game. It gets you attached to these characters, and that makes the moment where it reveals what kind of game you are really playing much more effective. Speaking of that, let's finally talk about the moment where DDLC truly made me see it as a masterpiece. Progress throughout the game, it's made pretty clear that something is going on with your friend Sayori, until eventually your character goes to her house to confront her. That's when she reveals that she has been going through a severe depression for many years. This obviously brings your character to stress, and the game gives you a choice to either confess romantic feelings to her or simply comforting her as a friend. But it doesn't really matter what you pick, as you'll see. After leaving and doing an activity to prepare for the festival with either Yuri or Natsuki, depending on what you pick, after that, the next day begins, and you go to the literature club just like any other day. But Sayori isn't there. So you go to her house, your character assuming that she is simply sleeping in. You call out for her. No response. You think that she's just a heavy sleeper. So you decide to enter her room to wake her up. And you gently open the door. This moment is probably the best moment in the entire game, and probably one of the greatest moments in all of horror, honestly. It has left such a mark on me that whenever I hear the song that plays in the background, I genuinely get goosebumps. That doesn't even matter what context. It doesn't matter. If I hear the song, I get goosebumps. I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. The game spends the entirety of its time making you feel safe, making you feel like you're just playing a normal game, only to rip that away from you like it's nothing. That it's so effective. It's genuinely really good. When I first played through this, it shook me to my very core. Now, let's talk about the aftermath of this moment and the last part of the game. Well, after, the whole thing, the game restarts. And you restart the game in practically the same way as it was before, except this time, Sayori is gone. Literally deleted from the game files. If you're on PC, you can check. You can quite literally check. You go into characters and she's just gone. Deleted from the game files. You continue to play the game like normal, just without Sayori. It's pretty much just the same game. Except, something is wrong. Things change. Things are off. I don't really want to explain it because it's something you honestly need to experience it for yourself. But things escalate more and more until eventually you reach a choice. To either accept Yuri's confession of love or to reject it. Once again, your choice doesn't really matter, as no matter what you do, this happens. After this, Monica appears. She's calm. Too calm. Until she finally tells you that she knows. She knows this is a game. She's the one who's been causing all these horrible events to occur. All because she loves you. She has been trying her hardest to manipulate the game into allowing her to be with you. Getting rid of anyone who gets too close to you. But still, she can't do it. No matter how hard she tries, it won't work. There is no outcome in the game's code to allow her to be with you. So she deletes everything. The characters, the environments, the code that allows the game to even function, she gets rid of it all. Until there's nothing left but her. All that's left is just Monica. This, to me, is the most effective use of fourth wall breaking horror that I have ever seen or played. Fourth wall horror is something that is very difficult to pull off correctly, and most of the time it just ends up being corny. I mean, think back to the old creepypastas, things like that. DDLC, however, uses this style of horror to incredible effect, creating a game that scares me more than anything I've ever really seen. That is why DDLC is a masterpiece of horror. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I say. I'm not expecting this video to do well, but, it's a passion project of mine that I've been wanting to do for a while now. So, thank you for watching for this one till the end. I really appreciate all the support you guys give me. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. That'd be really cool. So, if you like the video, consider subscribing. I really appreciate you watching till the end. And there was a lot of things I left out about DDLC in this video, and that's because I want you to go play the game for yourself. Support the developers, and because it's genuinely really good. You should really play this game. I highly recommend it. So, yeah, like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and, I'll catch you in the next one.